Hey, yeah, what's up? This disciple Marshall Occurrence rain back up in this anti-Illuminati all day, anti-Freemason all day, anti-America all day, anti-gang stalker all day. Hallelujah. Yeah, so this anti-witch all day, anti-warlock all day, anti-telepath all day, anti-psychic all day. Yeah, so this video right here basically is going to be about you're only as great as your leader. You're only as great as your leader. For all these people that think America still is on top, okay, look at your leader though. Boom, that's the seventh owl. How you on top of that bum leader you got? And how was you on top before him when you had Donald Trump? So you ain't been on top basically since what? Obama? You ain't been on top since Obama. Okay? Because you definitely ain't been on top with Donald Trump. You definitely ain't on top right now with Sleepy Joe. Joe Biden messed up 20 years of progress when he pulled the troops from outside of Afghanistan. When he pulled all the troops from Afghanistan, and they also killed 7 children with a drone attack that was meant for some terrorist, I guess, over there. In the process of pulling those troops out and all the situations over there, they wind up killing 7 children in the process. And the Taliban is back on top. The Taliban is back on top over there. In other words, a terrorist group is back on top of Afghanistan. They can grow over there again. This is the same situation that you faced when you had Osama bin Laden that was against you. He had a place to grow and fester. Same thing with now the Taliban being back on top of Afghanistan as a result of Joe Biden pulling the troops out. Now they have a place to fester again. So you see the reason why he's Sleepy Joe. All he was trying to do it for is to get your approval. He had people told him not to do it. He had people that was telling him not to do that. And you think he's the greatest in the world right now? And come on, man, you can't be serious. Messing up 20 years of progress for 9/11? Not the Vietnam War, not some other war where there was stability over in the country as a result of some old war. No. This was the response for 9/11. He messed up all of that progress. So you think he's the best in the world right now? A man that messed up all the 9/11 progress for the New Yorkers, you think he's the best right now? He messed up all the work that been done for 9/11 over in Afghanistan. The Taliban is back on top of Afghanistan. And you think Joe Biden's the best when he had American officials telling him not to do it? You think he's the best? Well, his decisions wasn't the best. His results are not the best. He's sitting around cruising the country like he the best. Can't be serious. Got them dark shades on like he doing something. Got them dark shades on like he had them on when he was in the Obama administration. Yeah, he was cool then. Only reason he was cool then is because you was under Obama. Still got them same black shades on like you cool. You ain't cool no more, buddy. Ow. Got them same Obama shades on. Can't be serious. You just messed up 20 years of progress. That was the response for 9/11 attacks. He messed up all that work, man. And you think he gonna get the military vote next year? Smart military ain't giving him no votes. You messed up why would they? You don't know what he's gonna do next time. He messed up all the response for 9/11 and killed 7 children in the process. Man, that's a joke, man. Listen, that's a joke to me. And it serves good my message. You're only as great as your leader. You're only as great as your leader. And you haven't been great since Obama. That's what most people would say. So if you're not as great, you're only as great as your leader, and he's not the greatest in the world, then that means someone else is number one right now. Hey, I'm not going to split hairs about who it is, who's number one, but it ain't America. Hey, let's agree on that part. It's not America. Well, yeah, we know that part. We know it's not America. We know that much. We know that much, buddy. And that's based on the fact that you have these people in office that can't be considered the best. So how are you the best as a community when you're subject to their decisions? You're subject to what Joe Biden wants to do. You're subject to what Donald Trump did. You were subject to what he did. Also, perfect example, the House Select Subcommittee investigated Donald Trump's administration and found out he had an intentional slow response to COVID for political points. He put you in harm's way intentionally. How is he the best? That's what Donald Trump did. Hey, I ain't letting up on him. Ain't no mercy. I don't care what he's going through right now. I'm still talking about whatever, all the other stuff too. I'm talking about it all. He got blood on his hands right now for putting you in harm's way. And the House Select Subcommittee did an investigation on him, an investigation that is the most underrated and one of the most underrated in U.S. history, where they found out that Donald Trump had an intentional slow response to COVID for political points. And he's the greatest. He had an intentional slow response to COVID for political points. Well, you'll say, well, how do you get political points out of a slow response to COVID? Okay, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to keep telling you. I'm going to campaign about it till you get it. Just like you got it with child marriage. I had to campaign for almost a year for you to get it. I'm going to have to campaign concerning this investigation that the House Select Subcommittee did about Donald Trump having an intentional slow response to COVID. I don't think you realize what I'm talking about. So I'm going to have to campaign for probably all this year so that you won't even, by next year, you won't even think he deserves to even try to run. He had an intentional slow response to COVID for political points. I didn't make this up. The House Select Subcommittee investigated him and concluded this. He had an intentional slow response to COVID-19 for political points. Okay, so how do you get political points out of a slow response to a disease like COVID, to a virus like COVID? Okay, well, I'm glad you asked. How he did, how it happened, was he thought he would let it flare up and get out of control and fix it, and you would give him political points. That's how he would get the political points out of an intentional slow response. The intentional slow response would make it get out of control, right? So the intentional slow, the response that's intentionally slow is so that it gets out of control. So how you gonna get political points for it getting out of control? Because you're gonna come in and fix it, and people are gonna give you political points. But it backfired. He didn't know. Donald Trump didn't know how deadly the disease would be. He didn't know how it would be. He didn't know what it was and how it would be. So he thought it would be, based on reference point, that it would be something like swine flu, mad cow disease, bird flu, some stuff like that. Okay? And basically, he thought he would come in and fix it and you would sing his praises and get him reelected. He had no idea what kind of virus he had on his hands. So basically, the slow response caused more people to die than would have naturally happened from the virus being in your country. So he has blood on his hands for the intentional slow response to COVID. There's people that are dead right now because of his slow response. We don't know how many, but if he had a slow response, I'm pretty sure with COVID, somebody died because of that slow response. Somebody did. So you're telling me just this number that we have is just because COVID naturally just came here and naturally did that. And he had an intentional slow response, which means if he had responded quicker, then somebody would have lived. Now that you know COVID, you know somebody would have lived, right or wrong. Okay, then. That's what I'm talking about. That's a 7 hour. And you call him the greatest. You treating that man like he Elvis, the fat version when he was eating the burgers. That's a 7 Al. Oh, if he's the king, he's the fat version. When he was eating all them burgers, defecating all those burgers. You know he like McDonald's. You know he like McDonald's. He's just like Elvis, ain't he? Eating them hamburgers. Hey, he's in the last stage of Elvis. Ow. Donald Trump is in the last stage of Elvis Presley when he was eating the hamburgers. Well, didn't he say he was treating himself after the Waco, Texas rally before he got indicted? Didn't they say he was treating himself to McDonald's? You got all this money and you treating yourself to McDonald's. You can't be serious, man. Something wrong with that picture right there. You got all that money and you treating yourself to McDonald's. What he trying to do is show he common folk. We already know he ain't common folk. He put you in, he had an intentional slow response to COVID and put you in harm's way, killing many common folk. Yeah, boom, out. You play no games. And here we are. People still can't see that America is not the greatest anymore. You're not the greatest. I don't care about your superpower. Listen, I don't care about your military might. You're only as great as your leader. That's how this works. If you got a bum leader, a garbage, crappy leader, then nobody cares about your military. Your military is subject to the crappy leader. Perfect example is the example I just showed you. When the military went over there and withdrew troops, okay? The military was involved in that at some point, in some place, right? That was because of the decision of the crappy leader. So it doesn't matter how big your military is or how mighty it is. If it's a crappy leader in the White House, he's going to make them go over to Afghanistan and mess up 20 years of progress, which was a response to 9/11. So does it matter that you got a mighty military when they sent over to Afghanistan against other American officials' wishes? Doesn't matter if you got a great military when they're subject to this crappy leader's decisions. And before him, the crappy decisions of Donald Trump to have an intentional slow response to COVID for political points, putting you all in harm's way. And the White House Select Subcommittee concluded this through an investigation, a 46-page investigation on Donald Trump's administration. So see, you ain't been the best since Obama. I felt like Obama was the last president of America. I've been saying that. Barack Obama was the last president of America. Oh, come on, this ain't nothing now. That's why they gave it to him last. I guess it was a way of showing some slight respect to black people before it's all over. Obama was the last president. Man, this is a joke, man. Look at this, what it is. Barack Obama was the last president. Joe Biden comes into the White House. Joe Biden comes into the White House and destroys 9/11 response. 9/11 now. Now, when I say 9/11, I don't know if people know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about September 11th, 2001, when the three trade centers were destroyed, right? The response to that over in Afghanistan, all the progress of building up Afghanistan and for over 20 years, all of that progress was destroyed by Joe Biden's decision to go and withdraw the troops. Now a terrorist organization is back on top of Afghanistan. The women can't go to work, school, and they can't play music. Somebody was killed over there for playing an instrument. Wow. Somebody was killed over there for playing an instrument. Talking about dark times for the Afghanistan people. Can't even play an instrument. And we have Joe Biden to think. The Afghan and killed 7 children. And you telling me it's more presidents after Obama? That's a president. That's a president. 9/11 was one of the most modern day important, significant wars and attacks in our time, in our present time. Okay? And all the progress was destroyed over in Afghanistan concerning this war when Joe Biden withdrew troops against American officials' wishes and advisement. And you telling me that's a president? You telling me you still the greatest? What are you looking? What is it in this culture that makes you think you're the greatest? Point it out to me. The people are crazy. The music is crazy. The culture is crazy. They're gang stalking. They're pushing people on trains. What is it? The military? Well, the military was utilized by Joe Biden to withdraw troops, and it was a total disaster. This is what happens when a military is put in the hands of a crappy leader, which means you're not the greatest, because even the great stuff you have is utilized by a crappy leader. So you're not going to have great results. Just like Afghanistan, how it is now. That's not great results, right? So how are you the greatest? You can't put up great results even with your military. So what you do have that could produce great results, you can't make those great results because it's utilized by a crappy leader. So how are you the greatest? I'm trying to show you. I'm spelling it out for you. I'm breaking it down for you. I'm not deceiving you. I'm sifting through all the thoughts of how you're the greatest. And you can't show me how, can you? Well, how? How? I want to know how. I shut down the military. What, the police? Police is a joke. The police here in the NYPD, police less than 10 years ago, sexually molested a 15-year-old girl that was in the police precinct. She was in a police program called the Explorers. How ironic. These 2 police explored her. And she was in a program called Explorer. I can't make this up, man. And she was 15 years old, man. That's against New York age of consent. Age of consent here in New York is 17. Those cops are supposed to be locked up. Guess what happened? They were only fired. Guess what else didn't? Guess what else happened? Your whole 5 boroughs didn't say nothing about it, did you? Well, how come y'all didn't? How come y'all wasn't outraged as a New York community? Yeah, you want to talk about being New York strong? Well, you wasn't New York strong there, was you? Ow. You wasn't New York strong right there, was you? A 15-year-old girl was raped, well, however you want to put it, molested by 2 cops, right? Huh? This is facts. I told you this is not a conspiracy theory channel. I told you that. You just amazed at what the facts are, aren't you? This one of the cops got jacked off by the 15-year-old girl in one of the cop cars he's supposed to be serving your community and the children in. The other cop had her come into his house in the middle of the night. These are 2 NYPD, New York City Police Department cops. And none of the cops in any of these precincts throughout the 5 boroughs didn't say anything about it. Y'all didn't take a knee or nothing. Why couldn't any of these precincts, including the one where the stuff happened, why couldn't they take a knee for us to visibly see? Why couldn't they do that? They take a knee when somebody gets shot from one of their peers gets shot, one of their counterparts gets shot. Oh, they'll take a knee for that. They'll rally around like they were ready to hurt somebody. But they don't rally around like they're ready to hurt somebody when you got 2 of your counterparts having sex with a 15-year-old girl. What if that was your daughter? That's what you got to think about. That's how you got to look at it. 2 cops having sex with your daughter, man. Man, you can't be serious, man. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying, bro. And the mama, she went and filed the report with the internal affairs in the police department. That's what she did. Because the daughter came to her about it. Now this happened. Whether you like it or not, you can go look it up. All you got to do is Google 2 NYPD 15 cops, 15-year-old girl. That's all you got to do. You ain't got to be all descriptive and all of that. It'll come right up. 2 NYPD cops, 15-year-old girl. That's all you got to put in there. And so they don't need to even show their face over here. We ain't in high school no more. I'm not scared of no police. Not when you having sex with 15-year-old girls and the rest of us are honorable. I'm more honorable than you. And I'm more honorable than your community. How come your community didn't say nothing about it? How come your community didn't rise to the occasion and go protest like they be protesting about these musty grown men? But you couldn't protest about this little frail little 15-year-old girl who was manhandled by 2 cops. And she was in a police program. Yeah, how come your whole community didn't say nothing about that? Man, that's a joke, man. In New York is a joke when it comes to that, man. Don't ever act like you trying to see me, man. You understand me? Don't ever in your pathetic lives try to act like you're trying to see my morality concerning children when you got NYPD cops right in your face having sex with a 15-year-old girl, having sex acts in a cop car, getting jacked off in a cop car. Don't ever try to see me, man. Don't ever try to see me. That's what I'm requesting. You never trying to see me. And you ain't and based on that, you ain't as great as you used to be. New York ain't great as you. I don't care how much you light this city up. When something like that happens, 2 NYPD cops having sex with a 15-year-old girl, the whole 5 boroughs don't even respond to that. That's unbelievable, man. That's unbelievable. You could have went down and protest. Why didn't you protest? Because guess what? Those cops didn't get locked up. Those cops just got fired. Last time I checked, unemployment is not justice. Unemployment is not justice. Not in this case. Not in this case. 2 NYPD cops have sex and do all they want to do to this 15-year-old girl, and listen, all they do is become unemployed. If you would have protested as a community, they would have pressed charges against them. See what happens? See what happens? When you ain't paying attention and you talking about you woke. I don't want to hear New York ever talking about they woke. I bet you got a million people typing it right here now in New York. Talking about they woke. You can't be serious. You got a 15-year-old girl getting molested down, sexed down, however you want to put it, by 2 NYPD cops, and your community says nothing. But yet you're the moral standard on sexuality with children. You can't be serious, man. You can't be serious, bro. Listen, man. That's why I don't tolerate no disrespect and foolishness, man. I'm serious. When the cops is doing it right in your face, and if you in your whole 5 boroughs did not protest, that go for all these social workers. They act like they big mamas. And all these social workers act like they big brothers. All of you, yeah, all of you. You know what I'm talking about. You know the type. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Acting like they the seniors of good standards of living and purity. You know the type I'm talking about. Sit up and talk to you about life and everything. How come you ain't talk about these 2 cops right here? How come you ain't protest or nothing like that? It take a young man like me from North Carolina to come up here and show you your boo-boo stink too. Well, you got two NYPD cops less than 10 years ago. Listen, less than 10 years ago, that's all I got to specify. You still should be talking about that. Listen, less than 10 years ago, you still should be talking about that, buddy. Ow. Playing no games, bro. So that means I rule here. That's what it means. Based on men of honor and respect and codes, I rule here. Well, how come your whole community said nothing about this 15-year-old little girl? You can't tell me why, can you? Oh, why, oh, why. Sound like an R&B song, don't it? Oh, why, oh, why. Oh, wow, why? Why you can't tell? Oh, wow, why? Why you can't tell me, man? Huh? You can't tell me why 5 boroughs, not even 1 out of 5 of them, 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 4 out, none of them. No protests. And the information was revised, or how do you want to put it? Revised, came back, the whole situation, the conclusion of the situation, came back to the community in 2021, and you still didn't say nothing then. So it was made public by paper in 2021. And all 5 boroughs didn't say nothing again. And you think you can see me? And you think you have the platform to see me, bro? However you want to put it. The committee, man, listen, man, I don't care nothing about all that stuff you doing in the hood politics. After you out here like trying to see niggas for who they are and all of that, man. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. I don't care nothing about it, bro. When you got 2 NYPD cops out here having sex with a 15-year-old girl, and this is your own. This girl belongs to your community. And you're quick to act like, oh, well, you know, we got to watch out for the community. Well, you didn't watch out right there, did you? And it's amazing to me. You see what I'm saying? Ain't that amazing to you? Ain't it amazing to you how they all on me and they all on other people? But when the cops do something right, you see what I'm saying? Put yourself in my position. How would you feel about it? Okay, they all over you and here in New York. Like they trying to see you for who you are as far as like these children and sexuality with children and all that, right? But then you come to find out that 2 I can't make this up, 2 NYPD cops have sex with the same girl that was in a police program right here in New York called the Explorer. Can't be serious, bro. You should have held everybody responsible. Not just the cops, the program too, and the precinct, and NYPD collectively. You didn't do any of that. That's what I'm saying. And that's the difference between me and you. You know what I'm saying? I'm about this life. You about chicken eating 3-piece biscuit, eating hood politics. That's what you about. You about 3-piece biscuit, hood politics. Sitting back eating a 3-piece with a biscuit, talking about what people done did or what they heard people done did. That's why I say that. Chicken, can't you get the picture I'm painting? Sitting back eating chicken and eating biscuits, talking about what somebody done done. That's why I bring that up. It's not racist. It's cultural. It's what you do culturally. You sit around, eat chicken, talking about stuff you don't know nothing about. That's why. And then you sit up and totally ignore in your 5 boroughs, a child getting molested down, sexed down by 2 NYPD cops, certified cops, not halftime cops, not volunteer cops. 2 NYPD cops. One getting jacked off by the girl and getting a hand job in the cop car. You can't make it sounds like a joke, don't it? NYPD getting jacked off by and getting a hand job in the cop car. A cop car they supposed to been serving you in. A cop car they supposed to be serving your children in. Okay? So can we, as far as me, hear me out very good, buddy. Hear me out very good. Don't try to see me no more as a community. I'm not talking about nobody else. I ain't talking about them fools down the street. I ain't talking about these lames around here who think they heroes and everything like that, but they didn't make their voice. They've been here longer than I have here in New York, and they didn't make their voice heard when this 15-year-old girl was sexed down by these 2 cops. We ain't talking about them. We talk about me. Don't try to see me. You feel me? Don't try to see me, bro. Because you know what I know. You know what I know. You know what I know. That I know that you had no response to 2 NYPD officers sexing down a 15-year-old girl as a community, as a whole jungle of New York City. Your whole jungle did not respond to 2 predators sexing down a little girl. So I don't care who you are. I don't care how tough you are. You did not respond to it, man. And I don't care who you are. I win. I win. You understand me? I don't care if you're older than me. If you're older than me, you should have knew this information. Hey, listen. You can fool these other Americans with that age stuff. Your age your age is put to shame right now. You sit around all day, you got 1,000,000 years to look at this information, and yet you, with your old tail, didn't even know nothing about it. 2 NYPD cops molesting, sexing down this 15-year-old girl, and you quick to act like you Mama Hen. Mama Hen, here come Mama Hen. You know you got the Mama Hen type of people in the community, man. You know what I'm talking about, man. Don't play stupid on me. You got these Mama Hens around here. Well, let's talk about Mama Hen. How come you ain't know about 43 states of child marriage in America? You don't know about that, Mama Hen, do you? Mama Hen doesn't know about 43 states of child marriage in America. While you are henning around here for the children. Mama Hen right here in the 5 boroughs didn't know 2 NYPD cops were sexing down a 15-year-old girl. Huh? How come Mama Hen knows nothing? How can Mama Hen compare to me? You know why? Because you got all these synthetic images of love and gestures that she has for the community. Yes, she's ignorant. But she's supposed to be my superior. You secretly giving her praise and saluting her. She knows nothing. You're acting like she's superior over me. How? How? You tell me how. I'm letting you tell me how. I'm not making up why she's not. Well, I'll tell you why she's not. But I'm giving you the floor for you to tell me how. Can't be serious, bro. And any other little analogy, illustration you like to name these so-called caretakers of the community. The she-bears of the community. Well, how come all these she-bears didn't know nothing about 43 states of child marriage? That's a 7 owl. Boom. How come all these self-proclaimed she-bears, they're supposed to be care bears for the community, right? How come y'all ain't know nothing about 43 states of child marriage in America? It's a mystery, isn't it? How come all these she-bears didn't know about this here in New York? In all 5 boroughs, how come all you she-bears from the Bronx, from the Brooklyn, the Staten Island, all these people that sit back and like Mama Hen, how come you ain't know about that little girl that was 15 years old that got sexed down by them 2 cops? And if you did know about it, how come you ain't make your voice heard and you supposed to be Mama Hen or a she-bear? Huh? Man, come on, that's a joke, man. That's what I'm trying to show you, man. What God Kingdom do when we turn up. When we turn up, man, listen, man. It's going down, bruh. It's going down. We tearing down all the stuff that you think you are. All that fake synthetic stuff, we burning right through that, man. We burning right through it, bruh. And that's that. And it's over with. I rule. You got that part? Man, come on, man. Don't even compare me to thugs. Man, come on, man. You can't be serious. I told you that day's over. Compare me to a criminal? Man, they got 43 states of child marriage in America, and I'm the person that's telling you. Right here in New York, 2 NYPD cops sexed down a 15-year-old girl, and I'm the one telling you. Not the mama bear, not the she-bear, not the rooster, what other word I use? The hen, Mama Hen. Look, how can a criminal compare to me, man? It's racist. What you think that's supposed to intimidate me, man? That's supposed to intimidate me? How I'm intimidated by that? Man, you can't be serious. That's what makes me a grown man. I ain't intimidated by that, man. Look what I'm doing. Look what I'm doing. Why would I be? I would inform them of stuff. They can't inform me of nothing. That's what I'm saying. You got all these little things you try to compare me to, and ain't none of them holding up, are they? The she-bear ain't holding up. Mama bear ain't holding up. Mama Hen ain't holding up. And anybody else, the family guy, you know, the one, the head honcho family guy, walk around with about 2 kids, 3, 4 kids. He think he a gangster with kids. Hey, well then how come, listen, man, let me tell you something. How come you ain't know about 43 states of child marriage and you got all them kids? head honcho. How come you ain't know about NYPD? You a gangster. You supposed to know the politics in them country. You supposed to know the politics in your city. How come you listen? If you the big dog here in New York, you the head honcho. You got the kids. You know the type. Walk around. He's people supposed to be intimidated to even look at his kids, right? We don't supposed to even look at his kids. Even if we ain't thinking nothing crazy. We don't need, you supposed to be so scared of him, you don't even look at his kids. Okay, how come he ain't know nothing? Like, he know all the politics now. He's a gangster, he's supposed to know the politics, right? He's supposed to know certain politics, right? Right. How come the big gangster head honchos all throughout the hood, everywhere, how come they don't know about these two cops having sex with this 15-year-old girl, getting jacked off in the cop car, an NYPD cop car? Huh? And the other one taking her to his house in the middle of the night. How come the head honchos don't know that? See, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't pay that no attention, bro. That's what you think I should be scared of. That's what you think I should be intimidated of. Why? I just showed you why. I shouldn't be. I showed you why. And all them caretaker people, all them people you think is the most noble and pure people, you go sit around and talk to for 2 or 3 hours at a time. Like they superior to me. But they didn't tell you about the NYPD cops sexing down this 15-year-old girl, right? See, I got more than one piece of information on you. Don't you see that? It's more and more and more, bro. That's what I'm trying to show you, man. Stop comparing me to these bums, man. And they sitting up here and they got 43 states of child marriage. Man, come on, bro. Man, them are bums to me. Don't compare them to me ever again. I rule. I rule through Christ Jesus. You understand me, man? This is what God's kingdom do. And see, so when you understand who I am and what kingdom I represent, do you understand what's going on? This is God's work here, man. Yeah. This is what preachers do. This is what we do. Show you stuff that all these other people ain't showing you. And the gangsters ain't showing you. All these mama hens ain't showing you. All these people you respect. But they don't have the Lord. They don't have the Lord shining on their path to show them things. How come they don't know it then? I didn't go nowhere to get this information. I didn't go into a bunker and do a 007 operation. This information is right here for everybody to see because we are God's true chosen people. And that's the difference. They can sit up behind cubicles and act like they're such caretakers of the community, these social workers, like they're such loving people of the community, and they just caretakers, and they're a guardian of the children. Well, how come you ain't know about this? How come you ain't know about, in fact, how come you ain't know about 43 states of child marriage in your country, and you supposed to be a guardian of the community? See, that's what I'm saying, bro. Out the whole situation, we wash up everybody. I don't care what they look like. You're going by image. I'm going by facts of what they not doing and what I'm doing. You're going by how they look. She got the gray dreads. You know the type with the little seat, you know what I'm talking about? The gray dreads with the shells on them. She got her little cubicle. You know exactly what the type I'm trying to paint to you. And she walking around like a poet halfway, talking about, you know what I'm talking about. How come she ain't know about them 2 NYPD cops sexing down that 15-year-old girl? And how come she ain't tell your community? And how come she ain't protest about it? If she was the only one standing out there, they would have took pictures of her. How come she wasn't out there? Huh? That's what I'm saying. And then they go to, you got the other brother. You know what I'm saying? He try to act like big brother. You know what I'm saying? You know the type. Take you out to eat and everything. He got like big brother to everybody. You know what I'm saying? He a social worker. He got like big brother. You feel me? How come he ain't know about it? See, I'm tearing down the images that you think is the ones. You as human beings, here in America, you're no different than any other society. You have your ideals of everything. You have your images of everything. So you think the caretakers, all these people like the, mama bears and she bears and the mom roosters and all of this. Not the mom rooster. Rooster's the male. I'm a rooster. You know what I'm saying? How come mama hen had to have the rooster to do it? That's the 7th owl. How come mama hen had to have a rooster get up and tell all of y'all what's going on? Because that's how it's supposed to be anyway. Mama hen shouldn't be around here doing much of anything but listening to the rooster. That's the truth be told. And the rooster had to come up and tell y'all everything. Yeah. But you've been looking at Mama Hen, you know why? Because the man been missing in the whole community, and especially in the black community. The rooster been missing, ain't he? The rooster has been missing. And look at what Mama Hen producing. Much of nothing, is she? Humdrum, the same stuff she been producing for the past 20, 30 years. That same refried approach to drugs and alcohol and everything, the family and the broken homes, that same cubicle social worker approach. You know what I'm talking about. Just as gray as a November day. Ain't nobody getting nothing from it. That's why everybody relapsing. And see, but you salute her and respect her to the fullest, right? How come she ain't tell you? How come a rooster had to tell you, Mama Hen couldn't tell you? She been telling you everything. You been respecting her. Huh? That's what I'm trying to show you, man. I'm trying to show you what's real. As opposed to all these images you got in your head. All these images of who you think it is. That's what God is a master of doing. Always messing up your philosophies. Messing up your images of what you think is. Now you see somebody like me who you would label as a savage, a thug. What word I want to use? Wayward person in your society, some drifter type person, some reclusive drifter, a man-child even. But you look at it for what it is and you see it for what it is, don't you? I'm the only one doing it. See, that's what God do. He uses the wise. He uses what people say the foolish things to confound the wise. Yeah, all you people that sit up and got all these degrees. You got all these degrees, but you don't know nothing about what's going on in your country. You got all these people that go to law school and get degrees, come and go, and they still don't know about 43 states of child marriage, do they? They don't know about it, do they? You got all these attorneys, all these people that enforce the laws. You know, all these people that enforce the laws against Donald Trump. I have a question for you right now. While it's going on right here in New York, do you know about 43 states of child marriage in your country? Huh? You don't, do you? You don't know about 43 states of child marriage. Did you know that Donald Trump was in office when the last child marriage law was passed? Did you know that? You didn't know that, did you? That's what I'm saying. And you tell me I don't rule? You tell me I'm a fluke? Won't these basketball hip hop guys stop acting like this is a basketball game and I'm some hype? How am I hype when I'm checking everybody? I'm schooling everybody, man. Stop, man. Listen, man. Listen, this is not basketball, bro. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no hype here. Ain't no gimmick here, bro. I know the insinuations that you put out, but I checked it, didn't I? Didn't I check all your insinuations? Yeah, I did, didn't I? Because if I was hype, how come I know stuff that everybody don't know? How come I consistently prove this with more and more information? Not just one piece of information. More and more information. NYPD just having sex with a 15-year-old girl. Nobody in New York knows it. I'm telling you this. You don't know it. Okay, there's another example of what the kingdom of God does as opposed to what you do. And y'all supposed to be head honchos. I don't want that position, buddy. You can keep that. Ew. It's stale and it makes me nauseous even thinking about it. When you can sit up and not know anything and think you the man. Ugh. I don't want nothing to do with that. Okay? You got 43 states of child marriage and you run around like you the man. Come on, you can't be serious, bro. That's all I'm saying. But you're only as great as your leader. You're only as great as your leader. That's why you try to get close as you can to a great leader. Because that's all you're going to be. That's all you're going to be, big baby. You're going to be as great as your leader. And you can fight the feeling all you want. But at the end of the day, you ain't going to be no better than that leader, bro.